This is the beginning of part 2 of my series on raises. In this video, we're going to look more in depth at the simple 6 to 9 high card point or support point range for raising openers, major suit, or minor suit in some cases. We're also going to differentiate between high card points, support, or dummy points. Videos are intended to be used in specific locations in the Contract Bridge video directory. Understand that the directory is a dynamic thing and that things can be moved around from time to time. So if you don't find it exactly where you see it in the video, look around in the same area and it'll show up. The first series of 4 videos was for rank beginners, what we call the white belt level, and it showed up in CB4 Contract Bridge Bidding Systems Overview. And I think that's the correct place for it. But these are going to go into the advanced beginner or yellow belt level. And let me see if I can find this quickly. With any luck at all, they will go into CB17 Contract Bridge Basic Bidding Concepts. It's a little bit more. The yellow belt level is basically advanced beginner. My dojo didn't even have a yellow belt or a blue belt. We went directly from white to green. But you stayed at white for a while, and when you finally did get your green belt, you were ready for it. It was like having gone through white, yellow, and blue belts. So I didn't want to do all that, but I did want to stick in an advanced beginner area, and that's the yellow belt. Now if you look at the beginning of the yellow belt area, you will find CB10 and CB11. These are explanations of quick or defensive tricks, and also a little bit about the theory of bridge hand evaluation. I would highly recommend that you review all of the videos in those 2 playlists so that you have some background that will help you as we go further into the concept of raising partner's suit. This will apply not only to raising opener as responder, but also if, for example, you opened the bidding, your partner suggested a different suit and you liked it, you would now express support for your partner's suit, which would make you, even though you were not, your partner actually would become the declarer even though you were the opener. A little bit advanced for right now, maybe, but the concepts work the same way. I just wanted you to know that. So I'm going to stop here with the intro, and we're going to start talking about the theory of dummy points and support points and high card points and how they all kind of work together. Also, we'll talk a little bit about length points. And we're going to do that all in the concept of the old 6 to 9, I like your suit, partner, let's just raise you to the 2 level discussion. Let's look at length points and understand that different people do things different ways. This is sort of a milquetoast regular way of doing things, and I suggest you start with this. Since north is the dealer, we'll start with the north hand. Ignoring all other types of points, let's look at the long suits in north's hand. Any long suits in spades? Obviously not, nor in hearts. But diamonds has 5 cards. That's considered a long suit. So we count 1 point for the 5th diamond. Clubs also has 5 cards, and we count 1 point for the 5th club. Again, there's other ways of doing things. Some count more points for the sixth and additional cards, like 2 points for each additional card from 6 up. Some count half points or even 2 points for the 5th or 6th card in a second suit. But for right now, stay conservative. Just count those as 1 and 1 for the 2 5-card suits. Let's go over to the east hand and see. 5 cards in spades, so we count 1 point for the additional spade, the 5th spade. Any card over 4. There's no card over 4 in diamonds, in hearts, or in clubs, and so we count no additional length points there. The south hand has 1 extra length point for the 5th card in the club suit, and as does the west hand for the 5th card in the spade suit. Follow your instincts. Don't blindly count points. This is a trick-taking game. All this point stuff is just to get you to be able to initially evaluate your hand and then maybe tweak it a little bit as the auction continues and you find out where high cards are, where your quacks are, whether they're working or not. All those kinds of things bear into it as the auction goes on, but it takes experience to get there. I don't expect you to be there at the yellow belt level. We're going to start demanding that of you at the green belt level, which comes next. So for right now, you've got about all you need about length points, and we'll stop there. Welcome back. Notice my camera is off. That's so that you can take a screenshot of this chart and have it as reference. I think that will be very helpful for you. So we're going to stop the video right here and give you a chance to take a screenshot. Go ahead and hit pause. We're back. So first thing, we're going to get our terms straight. Support points are when you expect your partner to be declaring the contract in a suit, and you have support for that suit, and you're calculating the value of your hand based on those facts. You expect that your partner is going to be declarer, and you are going to be laying your hand down as dummy. So they call these dummy points, but dummy points and support points, or points in support, all those are pretty much interchangeable terms. But to keep it straight in your own head, when you are expecting to be dummy and you are counting shortness points, which we're about to see, call those dummy points. Your partner, who expects to be declarer, is going to be counting length points initially. Then, once he has a known fit, he's going to stop counting length points, just as you would, and count support points as well. In other words, he's going to start counting shortness points instead of length points. Some folks, when they know they're going to be declarer, always just count their length points. Other people have different ways of doing things. But hopefully you get the idea that when you know that you expect your hand to be the dummy, you should definitely not be counting length points. You should be counting shortness points in your hand. In the editing process, I thought it best to insert something here. First, there's a concept of total points. That's simply the number of high card points in your hand and whatever other points you are counting, either length points or shortness points, depending on whether or not you found a fit or whether you're looking at no trump. The other thing is, in terms of no trump, the support is kind of figured the same way as for a suit, except that the range for support to bid 2 no trump over a 1 no trump opener generally rises from 6 to 9 to 6 to 10. Depends on your opening no trump range. So 1 no trump, 2 no trump, you probably have 8 to 10, somewhere in there. With a good 10, you just go right to 3 no trump, so more likely 8 to 9. That's kind of the way to support for no trump. If you're going to bid 1 no trump after your partner is open to suit, your range generally goes from 6 to 10, but it changes if you're playing 2/1 game force, and I'm not going to get into that part now. Don't worry about it unless you're playing 2/1 game force, in which case your instructor will teach you about the forcing or semi-forcing no trump. And that's it for the little insert that we're doing. So let's go ahead and look at those. Let's say your partner opens a spade and you support with 2 spades. You have 3 card support, so you know you have a 5-3 fit. When you decide how high you're going to support, whether at the simple raise level, or maybe limit raise, or maybe even finding yourself a game raise, you should include those shortness point values. For a known 5-3 fit, you count 3 points for a void, 2 for a singleton, and 1 for a doubleton. I don't know why that plus is there. Let's look at that same situation. Partner opened a spade or a heart, a major suit, guaranteeing 5 cards, and you have 4, or a primary support. You know you have at least a 5-4 fit. You can now count 5 points for a void, 4 points for a singleton, and 3 points for a doubleton. If you happen to have both a doubleton and a singleton, you can count for both. Here you have that special hand. Partner's guaranteed 5 cards, and you have 5+ cards support for partner suit. That's magic. And in that case, you can count 6 points for the void, or if you have a singleton, it's worth 4, and of course your doubleton is worth 0, because let's face it, if you have 5 cards in a major, 6 card, and it's a 5-5 fit, you're probably not going to have a doubleton that's going to be worthwhile. So just count your singletons or your voids, and if you have trouble with this, just pare it back. Maybe only count 5, 4, 3. But this is how people can justify bidding 1 spade, 4 spades, or 1 heart, 4 hearts with these big fits. Because they're going to have shortness elsewhere, or maybe a second suit somewhere that partner can set up and run. Hands that are worth a lot in support of your partner's major. From time to time, you'll have situations develop where you have a known 4-4 fit. Might be longer, but you can only count it for 4-4. Here you pare it back a little bit. Count 4 points for a void, 3 for a singleton, perhaps 1 for a double. Again, I'll caution you, adding all these shortness points can get you in the weeds. So what I recommend is, if you find yourself constantly in contracts that you or your partner can't make, you're always down 1 or even down 2, and you're getting frustrated because you're getting too high, my suggestion to you is that you might want to pare back your evaluation of shortness points and see if that helps. As you get better at declaring a contract or defending, you're going to be able to add those points back in. But generally speaking, if you're finding all this a little bit much, just cut it back. Now we're going to look at some hands. Here we go with no one vulnerable. Wes was the dealer and passed. Your partner opened 1 spade and righty passed your turn. Let's look at your hand. Got 3 points in hearts plus 3 points in diamonds is 6. So I certainly have enough to respond. My partner opened a spade. Do I have at least 3 of them? Yes. Okay, so far so good. Do I have any shortness points to add in? No. Any length points to subtract? No. I am now 6 to 9 with 3 card support, and I really don't like bidding 1 no trump with a collection like this. So I'm going to go ahead and just support with support in this case and bid 2 spades. And let's see what happens from there. So West had nowhere to go. North has no extras and therefore chose to pass. And now righty looks at his hand and says, yeah, I got nothing to say. And so righty passes. And it's gone 1 spade, 2 spades, swish. And that swish is everybody passed after the last bid, or call in the case of a double. And there you have it. This is a bit of a different hand. This time all full. Your partner has opened 1 heart in first seat. Righty pass. Don't talk to me about Michaels when you see the hand. Hopefully you don't even know what that is yet. And let's look at our hand. We have a stiff spade. We have 3 card support for hearts. So we're definitely going to support partner's hearts. We have 5 points in clubs, and 4 in diamonds is 9. Haha, well that's 6 to 9 range and 3 card support. So probably just going to bid 2 hearts, right? And look again. Let's see how big your hand actually is. You have a stiff spade, singleton spade. How much is that worth with 3 card support? Probably you can add a couple of points for that. So 4 and 3 are 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11 for the stiff spade. You're too good to bid 2 hearts. So what are you going to do? Well, in the old days, we probably would have just bid 3 hearts with our 3 card support. But partner might get a little overexcited and reevaluate his hand wrong because he thinks we have 4 card support. So why don't we just go ahead and bid our clubs at the 2 level, which is either a game force if you're playing 2/1 game force, or at least a 1 round force if you're an unpassed hand, the auction has not been interrupted by 1 no trump, and you have made a 2/1 bid showing at least 10 high card points and most likely a 5+ card suit. Sometimes you're going to temporize, so you might have only 3 or 4 cards, but partner's going to play you for a 5 card suit or at least a 4 card suit. This is another little edit. You'll notice in the next video about limit raises with 3 card support that we are going to tell partner that we have 3 card support after we have made this little delay in the auction, and then we jump to 3 hearts. That distinguishes 4 from 3, and you'll see that in the next video. And we'll see what happens. You are first, and I assume you would pass with this hand. Partner has opened a vulnerable 1 spade in third seat. Right hand opponent has passed, and it's your turn. Well, let's count our points. 3, 2, or 5. Well, not enough to support, so I guess we'll pass even with our 4 nice spades, right? And if you do, and you're my partner, you won't be. So let's go ahead and look at this in terms of how to reevaluate this hand. Yeah, you have 5 high card points, but you also have that stiff 5 of diamonds. That makes this hand huge with 4 card primary support. You now definitely can support your partner, and should. This is almost a limit raise, believe it or not. But I think in this case, at your level, probably the best thing to do is just to go ahead and support your partner at the 2 level and see what happens from here. Teachers, and for those of you who are viewing this without a teacher, I'm going to add an extra credit hand here for you to take a look at. Your turn. What do you think? I've only got a stiff king, or a king of clubs. That's my only point. 3 points. My goodness, I can't respond with this hand. Really? Partner opened to heart, and we have primary support for the heart suit. We actually have no diamonds. Could turn out that it's a big misfit. But wouldn't you like to give your partner a chance? You've got a half a quick trick with that king. Ought to be good for something. And you ought to be able to rough a few diamonds, maybe. Might be useful, might not. I don't know what you're going to do, but I'm not vulnerable against vulnerable. Take a look over there at the board 9 table marker. Guys, I'm going to try 2 hearts. I don't think your partner's going to be too upset by the dummy that comes down. Not even be asking you why you didn't bid game.